Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me pug my way to 3K rating on a Blood DK in Dragonflight Season 4. In today's episode, I have a couple of failed Nokhud offensive runs. The first one, I just kept dying over and over again. We did manage to finish this one, but we failed to time it, and the group was frustrated with me, which I completely understand. The second run was going, honestly, pretty well until the healer just decided to leave. I think they left because the paladin didn't get rezzed, or rather, they didn't res the paladin, and then the other monk decided to try and res the paladin, but the paladin released before the res cast finished. They got frustrated, and then they peaced out. But after two failed runs, we finally got it on the third attempt, so here is that third attempt. Okay, attempt number 3 of Nokhud Offensive plus 10. I am very close to losing my marbles. Hopefully the group takes it a bit more seriously this time around. We're talking about what to kick, which groups we're pulling, what we're pulling, when we're going to use Bloodlust, all of that good stuff. The usual, I would like to say. I'm going to go ahead and not do the double pull here. There we go. Tombstone for aggro. Very nice. Very nice pull. Nice and safe. A good distance away from that horrible, horrible spot over there where you body pull. We're going to interrupt the Plane Stomper. Lots of shoots going off, so we're just going to use our AoE CC, which is Blinding Sleet. Absolutely melting this group with 2 people doing 1 million DPS. Finally a group that uses Bloodlust on the first pull. I only had to ask for it for them to do so. The reason you want to do it here on the first pull is because the boss is such a joke. Like, it's not even close to being considered dangerous, so yeah. I'm just gonna run in with Blood Boil. Okay, we're gonna use the Death Grip to make sure that we group up the longbow, and now we have the D&D available. We also have this available. Get out of the War Stomp, kick the thing that it casts, and we're good. Rain of Arrows coming down. We're going to use Death Grip to avoid that damaging anyone. We're just going to interrupt the channel. No reason to let that go through if we can stop it. Just making sure I stand nice and still here so that the frontal from the Lance Master doesn't hurt anyone else. War Stomp coming through. We're just going to step away in this direction. Again, trying to make sure that that frontal doesn't hit anyone else. Disruptive Shout. We're going to interrupt and move on. Starting to get very, very familiar with this dungeon because, honestly, how could I not? It's just, yeah. Anyway, we have a minute and a half until we have Adrenaline Rush available again. Rogues blasting the DPS, so I may as well play around their cooldowns. As well as the Shadow Priest. I should not disrespect the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest has been doing quite well. Okay. Focusing a little bit here. We're going to use Dancing Rune Weapon to build up some Bone Shield charges. And also because you should just use non-cooldown. It comes off cooldown so quickly. Alright, people are doing quite well avoiding the arrows here. Or Stomp coming through again. Kick goes through very quickly. And it's just the Lance Master now. So we're going to run over to the next group. Because the Lance Master is melee. He did just do both of his casts. And we're going to use Grippy Hands here. We have cooldowns available from the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest should use them. They are using them. Beautiful. War Stomp coming through. I have to step away. Disruptive Shout is going to get interrupted. Ahuna is low HP. It's going to go after someone, but it's raging and we can't stop it. Shiv would remove that in rage, but I don't know if the rogue is going to be using it. It is a outlaw. Is it outlaw? Yeah, outlaw. I always mix up whether it's outlaw or combat, like which one is the new one. I know that it used to be combat now. It's called outlaw, but sometimes I get a bit mixed up. Okay, we have 2 melee left, so we're going to just run over to the next group. Blood Boil, make sure we get that going. Okay, and the longbow we're going to group up. Make sure they're all nice and stacked up so our group can do that juicy, juicy cleave damage. 2 bleeds on the Shaman. Shaman's doing a good job keeping themselves alive through the bleeds. We don't need to stand in those arrows ourselves, even though they don't hurt us all that much. They are physical damage. I'm going to ping this just so people see it. There we go. They've handled it. And I think just about done. That was a safe spot. Disruptive Shout. In a little bit of an awkward position here. I'm trying to group things up. I'm going to move the Lance Master over to this guy. There we go. Hoodoo Gun. Hoodoo Gun. Okay. It's a Lance, isn't it? Dragon Killer Lance, but Hoodoo Gun. Yudugan? Mino Dugan. Yudugan? Mage can. Okay, we're gonna get started right off the bat. Started right off the bat is actually a weird phrase. We're going to grip this and slow it. I don't mind. I can grip it again. We're going to grip it again. There we go. Drop another D&D right here. And step back into range. Stay in our D&D as long as possible. I'm going to use grippy hands here for the extra DPS. Shards of stone coming through. We didn't manage to get the lance off on time to prevent the shard of stone, but it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of healing that we need to do. I'm going to slow this enemy. My grippy hands just expired, which is good. I don't want grippy hands to be going through while this guy is running towards me, because I'd basically be helping him reach his destination. I need to step away from this. Shaman's already ready with the next lance. It's going to get used right off the bat. I don't know if this lets him use shards of stone now or not, because we didn't actually interrupt it. Here's a saboteur coming through yet again. I'm going to chains of ice it and grip it. We just want to keep it in place. We're going to drop a D&D on top of its head. Our D&D has Grasp of the Dead talent on it, which means we slow enemies down when we drop D&D on top of their head, or rather when they walk into the D&D. I just ran out of bone shield charges, not exactly great. Lance went through. Out of runes, so I can't drop my D&D. There's my D&D. Chains of ice on the ad. Boss is getting very close to kicking the bucket. In fact, this next lance will kill the boss if used. If we don't kill him first. Okay. Next lance is ready. It looks like we're opting to just DPS the boss down. No, there's the lance and he goes down. The reason I said the lance would kill him is because the lance kills or hits the boss for 5% of its full HP. Now, here's the scary bit with all the mobs doing crap tons of magic damage that I don't really have a great way of preventing. So this is the whole crap your pants area for blood DKs. At least for me, I'm not great at it just yet. Use Icebound Fortitude here at the start and Grippy Hands, just to make sure I'm nice and safe. The reason I use Grippy Hands and Icebound Fortitude is because I don't have many bone shield charges available. I don't have anything at the start, and I'm going to get hit by a whole bunch of shit. The Arc Blades are very, very scary. We're going to use Anti-Magic Shell here. I'm going to kick the Stormbolt. It's the only thing that I can kick here. Using Dancing Rune Weapon, I want the Arc Blades to go down as quickly as possible. There's the Arcing Strike. We're going to Death Strike right after it. Arcing Strike again. We're going to Death Strike right after it. There we go. We have these guys, but MD went out from the priest. This priest is great. See that MD actually... Oh, we're just going to pull this because they're right here. The MD from the priest is wonderful. Why? Because when you MD the little guys, it removes their magic buff, and their magic buff is basically their full HP. Now, Thunderclap coming through, we got to make sure we do not reach or do not stand in that. Priest getting targeted by Chain Lightning. I'm going to go down here because I'm out of range and getting hit while not Death Striking back like an idiot. I was just standing there letting myself drop. It was a waste of Purgatory, but luckily I survived thanks to it. So good job me, I guess, or good job Purgatory. The Storm Shield guys, very scary. All of their auto attacks do magic damage, so you need active mitigation pretty much the entire time you're fighting them. Either that or a very, very friendly healer. We're just going to wait until we take care of these two so we don't have any issues. We're going to fly up into the air and then go land on these guys. That'll give me a couple of globals of time to get situated here. The reason that happens, the CC I mean, is because we use Dragon Rider's Initiative to CC them or incapacitate them for 2 seconds, which is great. That's plenty of time. You get a couple of globals so that you can get yourself situated by, you can drop your D&D, get some bone shield charges if you need them, all that good stuff. We also immediately targeted the Storm Speaker, put them on focus so that I can focus interrupt the Tempest. The Tempest is what I'm looking for the entire time. Stormbolt coming through really needs to get interrupted. We do have a kick available. Stormbolts are just getting spammed. There we go. Kick was used to interrupt the Stormbolt. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, we're ready for the next group. Again, Dragon Rider's Initiative. We're going to fly up into the air like this and then land on them, drop the D&D. We can use Grippy Hands as well. Focus the Storm Speaker, and we are good to go. Storm Speaker will use Tempest in a second here. It's a quick cast. You got to be looking for it. It's very dangerous. Now, we would want everyone else to be focusing their kicks on the different Storm Bolts. I'm going to go ahead and use an anti-magic shell here because there is, again, a lot of magic damage coming through from these enemies like the Storm Shield. And we have a kick available. We're going to use it on that Storm Bolt. We don't want this going through. There's single target damage, but if anyone's like not full HP, they're going to fall over, or in very high keys like 20s, I guess, or whatever. If that goes through, you're dead. Like, you're just straight up dead. Obviously, I don't think anyone's even doing 20s just yet. Look at the Storm Speaker, interrupt the Tempest. Now I'm good to go. You can use an Empiric Blood, make sure I'm nice and beefy so I can survive these stupid arc blades that hit for like 1,000,000 damage. Literally 1,000,000 damage. Storm Bolt's not getting interrupted, which is unfortunate or fortunate. Arcing Strike going through. Now we're going to use, what's this thing called? Anti-Magic Shell. Make sure that I'm nice and safe from the Arcing Strikes. There we go. Arcing Strike went through. We're going to Death Strike right after it. You might be thinking I have a 2.2 million damage absorb shield and I'm not, I'm scared. Yeah, because it's just physical damage. It doesn't do shit for me. Like you can see, I have 2.5 million absorb shield, 2.2 million absorb shield, and my health is going down. Why? Because magic damage. That's just how annoying it is to deal with magic damage as a DK. We're going to pull these two. They're not perfectly like a great counter or anything like that, but they're not horrible either. They're kind of scary for you as a DK because all of their attacks do extra magic damage, so you got to keep those Death Strikes rolling when you get low rather than when you are like, you don't really use Blood Shield to prevent the damage here. Sure, some Blood Shield is useful because they do still do physical damage, but they mostly, what'll mostly hit you is the magic damage. There we go. Group was able to make quick work of them. 2-target cleave is quite good for a combat rogue and a frost mage. Okay, we're gonna step in really close to the boss before we hit it. There we go. Why do we do that? Because the boss will use whatchamacallit, a tank buster when you get out of melee range. When it can't punch you in the face anymore, it'll just cast something at you, which is much worse than getting punched in the face. So you got to make sure you step up close to it before you hit it. Okay, I think I have a safe spot right here. Very good. Refresh my D&D as it was about to run out. On Fortified, this boss really isn't that scary for a Blood DK. You kind of just stand there and spam the crap out of your Death Strike, and you should be golden for it. Trying to make sure I prevent any of these orbs from reaching the boss so the boss doesn't get a buff. And also I can maintain my own buff by doing so. Again, like I said, this boss isn't all that scary for a Blood DK. Not much to really commentate on about, so yeah. Just chilling here, collecting orbs, minding my own business, letting the DPS collect the orbs if they want to. Just going to make sure I don't don't put my circle on top of anyone else. No reason for somebody to get hit twice. Shaman can collect these. Yes, very good. You really want your healer to have 10 stacks of this when you go into the electrical storm, because that way you can, whatchamacallit, your healer has all that extra healing, and it's really necessary. Group DPS is much higher than it has been in my other runs, which is very nice because electrical storm basically finished channeling and then we reached 10% in the previous run. In this run, it's basically going to die during the electrical storm, it looks like. Yeah, there it goes. Very nice. Okay, and we go to the next group. Now, the Shaman is a bit low on mana. That's okay. We can just keep floating around the next set of mobs until we're ready to pull. As long as we actually kick the Ahuna, it shouldn't be too scary unless people stand in crap or whatever. But for the most part, as long as you kick the Ahuna and don't pull the extra 3 Ahuna, you're kind of golden. There we go. We just saw the Ahuna go past this pack of mobs, so we're going to go ahead and pull these. We're going to Icebound Fortitude here right off the bat because we want to make sure that we can survive that. Rotting Wind coming through. The other one's going to be cast soon as well. We're going to Death Grip that one. It was kicked. I did ask the group basically, whatever you do, kick the Ahuna, kick the Rotting Wind. I'm going to ping warning here so that people don't... I'm going to ping warning again, move away from there. We don't want people standing close to the top of this because then they'll pull the Ahunas. We really don't want to pull the Ahunas. Okay, we kick the Ahuna. There we go. Chant of the Dead coming through. We want to step away from that. And there we go. That was a very smoothly executed pull. Very scary. I'm glad I used Icebound Fortitude at the start of the pull because I needed a lot of globals to get ready there. Okay, we fly up into the air and we crash land on these. There's again a couple of Ahunas here that were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. I'm gonna death grip the other one. We really want to move them down here, because again, we don't want to pull these Ahunas that are up there. We seem to have done so. Excuse me. So we're going to just hope for the best here. Rotting Wind, one coming through. Okay, one came through. That's not very good. I did have everything I needed to interrupt that. We're going to grip this. Okay, we managed to pull another group. This is a reset. I'm just going to just reset. I don't think we can survive this. I'd rather just reset. Get off the hill. Avoid 3 Ahuna. Big ass is the rogue. They body pulled with their big booty. So it was unfortunate. People just like stepping on top of the hill because I think they have a good vantage point or whatever. But what they really need to do is get the hell away from it so that they don't pull the extra Ahuna that are flying around. Sorry, my soul was here. Yeah, that's fine. The shaman had to go pick up their soul because it'll randomly rip the soul out of someone. And collecting the soul, like stepping onto where it falls, is how you get back 30% of your damage, and it's important to do, especially as DPS. I don't think the shaman needed to do it because he didn't really do much DPS in that run, but he does like 87k. It's respectable, healer DPS. There's 3 Ahuna over there. I'm gonna ping over here. What I really wanted to do there... there we go. We managed to do it. We're going to grip these, AoE CC, and then there's one Ahuna that hasn't cast yet. We're going to death grip that one. Really need people to get over here. We're going to death coil heal this guy. We crit, so we almost healed him to full. That works out. Okay. I saw the Ahuna nearby, so I wanted to get over here and pull it with this group. There's a Rotting Wind. We're going to kick that one. Need other people to kick. We're going to grip that one. Swift Wind. Okay. Whew, this is super scary. Now I need to focus. I'm going to use Icebound Fortitude. I just need to survive this pull. This has been a good pull so far. Make sure nobody dies. Okay. Nice. Very nice. This was really good. This was our super... I'm really happy with this pull. Because we managed to pull the 3 Ahunas that patrol and a pack. The reason you want to pull it with this pack is because there's no other Ahuna in this pack. Right? You're just pulling the Ahunas that patrol around. So now I'm going to ping here so that they know. Lots of question marks over there because they probably don't understand why we were pulling that one. And I just explained it, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but yeah. Rotting Wind, we're going to interrupt that one. We're targeting the other one now so we can death grip it when it casts its own. Okay, somebody seems to have already interrupted it without me noticing, so that's my bad. We're going to use Anti-Magic Shell here because I see things being cast at me by that Corruptor. I want to have to deal with that. Okay, there's another Ahuna thing. We're going to kick that. I'm going to move again. That one dies before it gets its cast off. The reason I'm moving is because I don't want to stand in that swirly. Even as a tank, it will hurt like hell. It does like 1,000,000 damage almost, so you want to watch out for that. I learned that the hard way in the first pulse, in the first group today. So far doing really well. It looks like practice makes perfect. This is probably the best group I've run this with so far, so I'm quite happy to be part of it. Again, doing the little trick where you are able to CC all of them at the start. Positioning close to where we were. I want to stay within the range of the orb, but I don't want to... Don't want to stand in the big swirly. Sorry, my brain took a long time to process that. We're going to keep kicking the Mystic. The reason we kick the Mystic is because otherwise he buffs the entire group, and that's kind of scary. What's also scary is these stupid warriors with their Mortal Strikes. We're going to kick that because there's nothing else left to kick. Another Mortal Strike went through, but that's okay. We're, of course, still looking for percent, so we're going to go ahead and pull this group. This group is manageable. I'm going to go for the Beast Collar, and I'm going to use Anti-Magic Shell for these Death Bolts. Make sure I hit aggro on these guys. We need more Blood Boils coming through so the newly spawned in mobs can also get... Oh, I need those big Death Strikes. I don't have any sort of active mitigation to help me out here, so I just need to keep spamming Death Strikes. Okay, big shield from the shaman, big totem from the shaman, I should say. Desecrating roar spawns more enemies in. We're going to drop big death strikes again. Icebound fortitude and everything else. Ah, finally dancing rune weapon. There we go. Finally managed to get it off. Need to move out of this again. This was a risky pull. Shaman dropped his Spirit Link totem that helped us survive while we were out of everything. I basically had no buttons to push. And that totem was perfect. Starting to lose my voice because this is the third run now that I've commentated. First one I just didn't time because I died too many times like an idiot. Getting my butt whooped here because these guys are super scary between the warrior mortal strike and this physical damage taken increase buff. It's really, really dangerous. Okay, 84%. Again, we still need percent, so we're going to pull this group over here. Drop that D&D. We still haven't activated... Oh, we did activate that. That's very good. We have grippy hands pulling things together for us. That's fine. Drop a D&D, and now we're good. Mortal Strike coming through. We managed to parry this one. Finally, a little bit of good luck for us. And Dancing Rune Weapon. Now we almost guarantee a parry on that because we have quite a bit of crit and get the extra 40%. Whatchamacallit? Parry chance. Step the way. Stutter step that Mortal Strike. I didn't know I could stutter step that. Let's see if we can repeat that. Nope, that one actually got me. Doesn't matter. We still need quite a bit of percent. We're going to pull this group over here. Okay. There is an Ahuna. We're going to put a focus on it. Trying to avoid pulling this group, but that is unavoidable at this point. Okay. Now I'm going to need some big defensives here from the group or something. I need to step out of that swirly, otherwise I'm dead. Waiting for that chant of the dead to finish. I'm going to step back into my D&D. Only for a little bit. I'm basically out of things to use. I really need some help from the shaman if he has Spirit Link Totem. The group is holding out on their offensive CDs. I don't know why. Rogue should be using Adrenaline Rush. There we go. There's the Adrenaline Rush I was talking about. Maybe they were waiting for something else to line up. We're going to kick that Swift Wind. We really need to. Ahuna is now going to cast their crap soon, I'm assuming. So I'm going to target it so I can Death Grip it when it does. There it is. We're going to Death Grip it. And I went down. Over pull. Might be. Forgot the patrol. I thought that we could step away from the patrol. I didn't have anything left. I just didn't have any cooldowns remaining to really help myself there. I think my mistake right now is that I have Control Undead instead of Acclamation, which would make Icebound Fortitude a 2-minute cooldown. Did we manage to kill anything over there? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we killed a single freaking thing. Okay. Well, we're going to make this a smaller pull. We have everything available. What I should have pulled here was the boss. Chant of the Dead coming through. We're going to pull this smaller group first, and then we'll pull the next group. I feel a bit bad now for not pulling the boss now that everyone has their cooldowns available. I wasn't thinking. People still have kind of their major cooldowns. We're still missing percent, though, so... No, Chant of the Dead is not probably going to get finished casting here. Well, okay, I'm glad I stepped out of it. Okay. Let's go into this group again. We're going to put focus on the Ahuna. There's the Mortal Strike. It dies before it finishes it. We still need the percent. We don't need this much percent, I don't think, but I'm just going to pull it. Screw it at this point. I need to pay more attention, and I need to actually sit down and plan out a freaking route, because I'm doing this like an idiot every single time. Anti-magic shell. We have the Ahuna and focus. We're going to grip if we need to interrupt something else. Our cooldown on the interrupt is coming up soon. I'm going to grip the Mystic when he casts, and I'm going to interrupt the actual Ahuna. Okay. Can't grip the Mystic because it's, whatchamacallit, raging. I need to step back into that crap. Okay, it didn't kill me. The reason I stepped back into that crap was so I could use my... Oh, Jesus Christ, this hurts. So that I could use my Blood Boil to get aggro on these Makars. If they start attacking the Rogue or something, the Rogue may go down, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. We are now more than good enough on percent. So I realize now that this would have been a good opportunity to pull these two. Group is looking a little shaky on the cooldowns. Doesn't have everything that I would expect it to have for a boss. Too much percent. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. The rogue is right, that is too much percent. We're going to use a movement speed ability and head over there, drop a D&D where the Terra would land. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Make sure I'm facing Maruk as he does the brutalize. Don't want to get hit in the back. Okay. Gale arrow coming down. People are stacking up for it. Beautiful. Love to see it. I don't have to move out of anything. Spirit Leap is coming down. We're going to face Maruk and keep hitting him as we move over. Good. Now we go back to Terra. Doesn't matter which one of the two I hit. I focus on Terra because I run around chasing her. Spirit Leap coming through. We're going to use movement speed yet again. Drop D&D where she's headed. Big guys coming my way. Repel's coming through. Interrupt was basically instant. I don't know who it was, but I can appreciate it. Going to use Grippy Hands here. We're over percent, but I'm happy with it. Rightful Roar and Spirit Leap coming through. So we're going to drop this. Again, where we see that she's going to land. By this, I mean D&D. Oh man, is this it? Am I finally going to time a +10 Nokhud Offensive? Jesus. Hey, I'm proud. This time I didn't mess up too bad. I did mess up. It was mostly just from not having a route planned out. That's the biggest mistake I have this run. Is just not having the route planned out and having far too much percent, basically. Brutalize coming through, hurting quite a bit, but nothing I can't handle. And that's them dead. Waiting to go out of combat so that I can mount up and fly away. Waddling this way so that I can just get there a little bit sooner. Also, another mistake that I have is still from last week. I have a control undead from facing off against the incorporeal. The reason you want it for incorporeal is because you can, you can mind control them, and that's actually very, very beneficial. It's also very dangerous to do so because while you're mind controlling or casting it, you can't actually parry. So that's something to look out for. Group is heading this way because the boss was on this side. Hopefully, people position in a way where Balara will actually be charging towards us. Blood boiling to make sure that we have aggro. Advancing rune weapon is fine. If I do get whatchamacallit, oh, the charge went that way. That's my bad. The reason the charge went that way is because I was moving out of Batak's frontal, which is unfortunate. Charge is coming through soon. You gotta position in such a way that if it charges us, it doesn't go far. There's the charge. It's basically not going to go anywhere because it's facing the wall. It'll charge towards the wall and then stop. Okay. Ravaging Spear coming through. Shaman interrupting the blood-curdling scream. Why did I move forward? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. There's the stomp. There's the charge. Perfect. I can avoid both by moving once. This is perfect positioning as far as I'm concerned. Oh, okay. My friend, the Shadow Priest, didn't move out of that thingy thing. I don't really want to spend a CR. We have 3 CRs. Let's spend a CR. Screw it. There's no reason. Did they release? They're declining the res. Wait, what? Did they instantly die again? No, they did instantly die again. We have 3. I don't know why this guy is saying WTF for the BR. We have 3 BRs and we're on the last boss of a fortified dungeon. No reason to risk it. I get it. I get it. We're going to taunt them. Death grip them. This. I'm saving my, what's it called? Grippy Hands for the intermission. I used anti-magic shell by reflex there because I saw the tank buster. The reason you use the anti-magic shell on a tank buster here is because what can happen in the second phase, it puts a dot on you, like a magic damage dot, and it does magic damage, so you can just prevent a lot of it. A lot of nasty stuff by just having anti-magic shell up. You do also have to use it a little bit in advance, otherwise you don't have the cooldown available for the next time he hits you with it. He is 67%. Okay. Where's my runic power? There it is. Okay. I'm gonna drop a D&D right here. Going to Grippy Hands, and we're going to Death Grip, and we're going to Death Grip. And we're going to AoE CC. Never mind, people are using theirs. Stuns, okay. Very good. AoE CC for me. Kick. Another grip. No, I don't have a grip. I already used 2 grips. Okay, somebody did get hit by it, but they survived. Hopefully the shaman brings them up to full HP soon, so that they don't die from random other shit. I'm not going to bother stepping over to the, what's it called? To the stone, because he'll do the big circle thing that drops on us and leave the zones, and then we can't really do anything. I don't know if that made sense, but I'll point out when he does the attack that I'm worried about. I want to stand in my D&D, so I'm waiting for him to come back. Rogue, friend, I don't know what you're getting hit by constantly, but it's really, really rough. And to use... yeah, this attack. Once he uses that, it's kind of hard to keep stacking around the rock, so we just kind of move away from it and call it a day. Productive Strike. See, Anti-Magic Shell was on a second long cooldown because I didn't use it in advance. But luckily I can just get dispelled and it doesn't matter. I'll use it on the next one. I don't really need it for anything else. Static Spear coming through. We're just going to move to the side. All's well. Okay, so we did manage to get use out of the... whatchamacallit, the stone again, by having the guy charge into it, but no big deal. Okay, this one was much better than the other ones. The group was doing ridiculously good DPS. They were doing good interrupts. Everything was pretty damn smooth. The afflicted were being handled very handily. And most of all, from my perspective, I didn't overpull like an idiot. Thank you for the run. Oh, we have a portal. We'll use the portal. Let's get out of here. I have had enough Nokhud Offensive Fortified for, let's say, a week and a half. Because that's when I'll have to do it again, probably. Gonna hit them with the macro. We're gonna leave party, and we are done. Okay, well, today the recording took a lot longer than usual. I'm just gonna say that I'm glad I'm on sick leave, which gives me more time to actually spend on the videos, because Lord Jesus knows I did not do well in the first 2 runs. Neither did the group. They did particularly low DPS. Even on pulls that went well, their DPS was nowhere near... like, the lowest DPS person in this run did more DPS than most of the other people in the other runs. So that's how the other runs went. But I can't blame it on the DPS. I kept dying on pulls I shouldn't have died on. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe, because there's more episodes coming. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you can become a channel member. Channel members have guaranteed replies to their comments, and they get nice little shoutouts at the beginning of videos. If you're craving more D&B content, you could always check out the stream. It's linked down below. And if you can't make it to the stream, you can always check out the VODs channel. Definitely not VODs. But, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.